Okay, step number 7, we're going to put this together. We're going to use a lock miter, and that's on my shaper table here. It's already set up, the lock miter one here. You should have already trimmed these, the tops, the sides, the bottom, sanded them down to 3/4 of an inch thick. Your 2 end panels are the same width. All of them are the same height. Your 2 front and back panels are the same width as well. So make sure that you've got those exact before we do this lock miter. It says on our paper here, if you follow along with me, it says, step 1, get your 2 end panels and both front and back panels. I've got them. Number 2, cut a lock miter on all the edges of your panels before assembling them together. Use the lock miter shaper on the shaper table to cut these. It says have the teacher help with this. I would highly recommend call me over and help me just be here and watch as you do it, or if you want me to do this for you, I'd be happy to. These shapers, if you've noticed, I've used some of these other shapers, they're kind of loud, they take off quite a bit of material. If you don't know what you're doing here, you can easily get hurt or damage your project.
Yay.
So, call me over. It says do your end panels first and have the boards face up when doing this, just like the picture. And definitely look at these pictures on there, and that'll help you. So we're going to do our 2 small end panels first. And if I'm looking at that picture, it looks like we're having it face up, and we're going the way the arrows tell us, and we're just going to go across this edge right here. You do want to get the dust collector turned on for this, otherwise you can get all the shavings off on that. So we're going to get that dust collector turned on. You got to be aware, this blade right here, you can see it here, but when I turn this on, that blade spins so fast you can't really see it. You've got to watch where your hands are at. Don't put your hands real close. Pull your hands back a little bit. Go this way nice and slow. Okay, and it just cuts a nice miter joint with the spline built into it. We're going to get that other edge here, so I'll flip it around, make sure your good face is up. Run that through. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to your other small one. Just the small ones right now. Good face up, hands out of the way. As long as you keep that good face up and be nice and tight on the fence, get your hands out of the way, we should be good. Alright, okay, next, once we've done the 2 small ones, it says use the 2 hand spring clamps to clamp the spacer board to the table and align the small, again, just look at the picture here and it'll help you out with this. When we're running these big ones, we've got to put a little spacer board down. I've got it just clamped right to the back of the fence. Just face up. We're just going to line up our arrows where they meet. Our 2 little arrows there. Line those up, then just clamp this down to the bench top so it's not going to move on you. Now we're on the back side of your blue paper here. It says cut both edges of your front and back panels. Have the boards face out. Very important your board is up against the fence just like the picture shows. So on these ones now, instead of running them this way, we tip them up against the fence this way, and we'll run them through across. You just want to make sure when you do this that your board doesn't tip out on you or tip on you like this. Keep it nice and tight on that fence, and again, watch where those hands are at. Don't have your hand way down low by the blade. Maybe up here better to hold against the fence, and then your other hand put it at the back of the board to push it through. Turn that on, nice and tight, nice and slow. We're going to flip it around, get the other edge, again, nice and tight against the fence. And it cuts that same lock miter just enough for the other one to fit into. says remove the spacer board and handspring clamps and put everything back so the next person can use it. So just get this thing put back on. And then it says dry fit your storage chest together, see if it fits. Be careful not to break any joints. And don't glue anything yet. So we're going to come over to a bench and we're going to see if this thing fits together. So come on over. When you fit this thing together, it just says be careful not to break the joints. Some of these splines here, the lock miter with the spline built in, some of these can snap off if you're not careful. So they should just fit together. Just snap in place there. Just kind of hook everything together. Fit it all together and then just get my signature with it all put together like this. I just want to make sure things fit together nice. Everything's all nice and tight together. And there we go. It's starting to look like something now. And that's it. All step 7 is just cutting those lock miters. Don't glue it yet. We've got to put the bottom in before we glue this. So just get it set up like this, get my signature, and then we'll move you on. Really not that difficult of a step. Main thing is, you know, call me over when you're ready to use that shaper because it can be kind of dangerous if you're not knowing what you're doing. So, okay, thank you guys. Go ahead.